Hey man, that's the secret symbol, man. That's the Guitkit symbol, man. If you're ever in trouble, man, you need a guitar, you try to like, man, Guitkit will show up, man. That's not guaranteed for every situation, that's just the case. Hope you enjoyed our trip out to the Amish world. You know what I mean? That Xenon we got last week, got it all fixed up, man. The only other thing I got, other than that Xenon, was this shirt, man. Let's read it, man. Can you read it? I want you to enjoy the little joke, man. See, it says, see that? Understand it? This is how we roll. And they're in their little bikes, man. They got these little like scooter bikes, man. Amish country. I want to share a little bit of myself with you, man. A personal part of myself, because I enjoy my Pennsylvania treks, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a little Pennsylvania in my heart. I like to, you know what I mean? Keep it kindling. So this isn't a joint out to Pennsylvania flea marketing, because otherwise I'd be in my car. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? This is the Guitkit, man. You know, I'm mumbling and stumbling. So this is a trip out to my own swap meet. In your mind, picture me nearing the end of my daily rounds. No guitars. You know what I mean? I just got back from Pennsylvania. I only got one guitar. A whole trip out there. And a wonderful green t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? We count our blessings. So, this day was not looking good, man. I said, man, this is a drought, man. This is a drought, man. I can't even, you know what I mean, get ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the last couple of sections this dude Kevin has, man. You know, I've seen a couple guitars that he's had, but it's always like $10 more than I really want to spend. You know what I mean? And this time I was, hey man, I seen this sitting there, man, and I saw it poking out, man, just out of the nowhere, man. I was just like, you see this? These are like Grover open back tuners, and it says Grover on it, man. You can't see. I'll show you like better and a better. Like I saw that out, you know, on the headstock. It's very like nicely built, and it has like this tortoise shell. Sort of, you know what I'm saying, like binding. It looked like a well-built guitar. It was missing all the strings and it had some cracks on the front. You know what I'm saying? And I know that those Grover tuners are the same exact kind of tuners that John Lennon actually has on his Rickenbacker, the first Rickenbacker. You know what I mean? And they're very, very expensive. You probably pay like $300, $400 for a set. You know what I mean? In that perfect condition. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was valuable, even if the rest of the guitar was trash. You know what I'm saying? I'd be throwing in the garbage, man. Those tuners, you know what I mean, worth a fortune, you know what I mean? In my Reverb eBay mind. So, any hoot, you know what I'm saying? The dude's like $15 on that, you know? And I was like, $15 sounds like it's, you're on a plan. The dude's probably like, oh, it's a 25, this motherfucker, you know? Gave him $15 happily, man. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything else about it, because there was a sticker inside. You could kind of make out an E, and it says more PA at the bottom. But it doesn't say, like, you know what I mean, anything other than that. I had no idea what kind of guitar this was, man. You know what I'm saying? No idea, man. But it gave me an E. So I got the old blue book of guitars out from like 1997, 98. And I was like, I'll find out, you know what I mean? Any E, not too many E guitar companies. You know what I'm saying? In blank Moore, Pennsylvania, you know what I'm saying? So I got the company says Elger. Or Elger, I don't really know. It's probably Elger. And I'll tell you why in a second. Guitars. Ardmore, Pennsylvania. I was like, this is fucking the... You know what I'm saying? I was excited, man. I was excited. So, this is the scoop, man. This guy, Harry Rosenbloom, he started a medley music shop outside Philly in the Ardmore area. You know, that region. Mid-50s. You know what I'm saying? And he saw that the Martin Company in Pennsylvania had a monopoly on Pennsylvania made guitars. And they were like, Martin guitars at the beginning of the 50s were worth something. But the end of the 50s were worth a fortune. He's like, man, I want to make guitars better than the Martin guitars. You know what I mean? Beautifuler than Martin guitars. More attention to detail than Martin guitars. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it, man. So he went into his basement of his little shop there. And his kids were named Ellen and Gerson. So he's like, called this line of guitars the Elger guitars, or Elger, whatever he called it. Was, you know what I mean? You understand? Ellen and Gerson, man. And he made the first couple prototypes himself, but they weren't really guitars. He was a guitar builder. So he contracted this guy, this German luthier, you know what I mean, violin builder and guitar builder. I believe his name was Carl Muller, and he had a brother named George Muller. And, you know, and these guys were master luthiers, you know what I mean? He's like, I want you to design a whole bunch of, like, you know, prototypes of very, very, you know what I mean, high-end guitars. You know, use the finest stuff, you know what I mean? We're to put Martin out of business, man. Fuck Martin, right? He had fire in his belly, this guy, Harry Rosenbloom, man. Fire in his belly. So that was like 1958, 59, you know what I mean? And this guitar, I believe this guitar was amongst one of those prototypes. It looks like maybe the low-end student, you know what I mean, prototype, because most other production ones have some kind of serial number, like a dating system. Now, these two German guys had a little workshop, Pennsylvania, you know, about like 26, 27 craftsmen, you know what I mean, and they were making guitars from like 59 through like 63, you know, right around the end of 63. Right around the end of 63, Rosenbloom was like, you know what, man? I see these guitar imports are like starting to come in, man. You know what I mean? So he hooked up with Hoshinogaki, whose brand was Ibanez, man. Right? You know about that, man. And the rest is kind of like history, man. He introduced Ibanez to the market as first they were making, you know what I mean, acoustic guitars, you know what I mean, high quality Spanish style guitars, you know, then it became mid quality. And that was it, man. And he eventually folded by the end of the 60s when the guitars went out. You know, we were talking about that before Adam Mass in that cameo episode. You know what I'm saying? How the end of the 60s was you know, done, whatever. See, but medley music stayed open until I think the 90s. You know, Gerson run it. Gerson the son, he works at Sweetwater. He's like one of the executives of Sweetwater right now. Believe it or not, man. Gerson Rosenbloom, man. I don't know him personally. I don't sponsor him. No. But my man, I think this is a prototype from like 59, made by the Muller brothers personally. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's no other stamping in it. I've just been studying these guitars. It's a beautiful, beautiful instrument with beautiful appointments, people. So, you know what I mean? We're going to learn a little bit about this together. You know what I'm saying? I want to tell you another little hint, man. Roger Sadowski, one of the greatest luthiers of his time, man. Motherfucker came through medley music, man. He was the guy in the shop, because they were still selling guitars, you know what I mean? Through, you know, the end of the 90s, you know what I mean? He was the main tech guy, man. In the 70s, man. Where's mine, man? Where's mine? That's where he learned. That's where he learned everything. Small world after all, man. I'm going to flip you around. We're going to learn about it. We're going to get restored. Fill in these cracks. You know, that's really all we'll need, man. It's pretty good condition, man. Peace be with you. You got a friend in Pennsylvania. And I don't say you got a friend in Pennsylvania in jest, man. When I was a kid, they put that shit on their license plate, man. You know what I'm saying? Some places was like, live free or die. You know what I'm saying? Don't tread on me. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden one goes by and says, you got a friend in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it meant something to me as like a kid, man. At least somebody cares about me, man. See, Pennsylvania motherfucker drive by and changed my life, man. Anyway, man, I do love the Keystone State. I really do. I was actually out there this weekend. Again, I got one of my spots, man. It's called Malvern, man. You know, hotel out in Malvern. There's a little town called Paoli. East Whitehead Township, man. You know what I'm saying? Around that Chester area. You know what I'm saying? The Chester Valley. Some shit like that, man. I don't really know. But I was like sitting in a hotel, man. I was like, Ardmore, man. I'm doing a guitar next week about Ardmore, you know? Is that around here? And it was around here, man. It was like right around the corner. It was like 10 minutes down the street. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, you guys want to go take a little ride, man? I took my family, got in the car. Did a little antiquing. You know what I mean? I didn't do no Guitkit. Then I didn't find no guitars. I didn't film nothing. Hey, family, let's pull in this abandoned parking lot here in a strange neighborhood. And I want to film myself talking about a guitar I'm going to film. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't do that, man. I don't put my family's life at risk for you guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, I saw it, man. I drove around it, man. It was pretty cool. Saw where this guitar, you know what I mean, likely met its genesis, man. Drove around the sites, man. It's pretty cool, man. Not much to report back. This is a beautiful instrument. It's kind of fucked up, man. You know what I mean? We need some glue pumped into it ASAP, man. We're going to pump a whole bunch of Type Bond in there. Put some clamps on it, you know what I mean? Some flat clamps. You know, we just got to build this up again. I'll show you those tuners, man. I know you guys are like, oh, what's that? It's got a cracked neck? Yes, folks, it does have a cracked neck. Sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Didn't mention that off the bat, man. I was too Keystone out. Look at those Grover open backs, man. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that a thing of art? So, you know what I mean? If I get tired of Pennsylvania, I'm like, I hate the place, man. I don't go back there again. I can sell those tuners, man. I can burn this outside in the fireplace, man. I doubt that's ever going to happen, man. Got that fat back. See this, man? It's kind of like my Ecuadorian red, man. You know what I mean? Because they're beautiful, like ring thing. Skinny little neck. Nice guitar, man. I can't wait to play it, man. I can't wait to play it. It's unique, man. Unique. See you in the lab, man. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Alright, now, I remember New York used to have a license plate of the Empire State. Back then it was Star Wars times, like the Empire, Fortress of Evil, and another one, man. Let's get to work, man. Now these cracks here are going to require most of our attention. You know what I'm saying? They're old. They've been there a long time. You can see some discoloration has set in there, some darkening even, you know. It's been that way a long time. So they're going to take a lot of time. But what I want to address first, primarily, in the prime of our lives, man, is this fucking neck crack, man. See that shit, man? I want to fucking close that up, man. I want to close it up. So I'm going to pump some of this Type Bond and so much of it that I'm going to get tired of doing it with this. And then we're just going to put a little quick clamp on there, man. Clamp it up, and I'll see you in about 4 or 5 hours after that's done, man. It's all clamped up, and we're ready to go. Move on to other things in our lives, man. I don't want to waste all my time on you, you dirty crack. Head. It's the next day. What we did, rigged it up so it was correct. We put like this is a big box of dies. They're heavy metal box, you know what I mean? The headstock on there, and I'm putting pressure, you know what I mean, with a clamp on it. You know what I mean? So we're double, you know what I mean, trying to close that neck up. We had a lot of glue on there. Piece of wax paper. Unclamp it right now. It's been about 16 hours. See that? You hear that? Do you hear that, people? I might have done something good for the action, too. Yes, pass the Ray Charles test, man. You see that? You know, you can still see like a physical kind of crack, but it was like, it's not sticking up at all. And it's very solid. Hear it? Hear that? Alright, so let's flip it over and proceed with our procedure. You got that, Super Grover? You got that, Super Grover? Now we're going to try to close up the crack, man. Like Letterman fixing the gap in his tooth, man. You know what I'm saying? Time to fucking sell out. What we're going to do is we're going to... See, this is actually got like a kind of like a... Almost looks like an M for McDonald's, man. It's like sticking up, man. It's like a big sort of, you know what I mean, embarrassing gap. We're going to try to close that, you know what I mean? Now, this phone can't show the feel, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to give you a little bit of a taste. You see that? How it's kind of like coming up like a piece of gym flooring. So anyway, what we're going to do, just for this quick moment, we're going to take some of this Type Bond. I'm not sponsored by Type Bond, but I happen to have a bottle of it right now. We're just going to, you know what I mean? We're going to just get it all in there, man. And it's just, you know, say, smeared in there, right? And we just got to, you know what I'm saying? Get it all good in there. You know what I mean? We're going to spray a little bit of water. Or if you're from Jersey, man, it's called water, man. Right? A little water bottle, man. A little bit of that, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to get the feeling going. So we're just get smeared in here, right? And we're going to take our little douche ball, man. This is from Claire's. I've explained this before. It's like a little, you know what I'm saying, clearance item. Like an old pop socket, man. For you older people, man, pop socket. on the internet if you don't have kids, man. You know what I'm saying? If you have kids, you know what a pop socket is, man. Hey, man, I need a pop socket, man. Like, what the fuck, really? What's that all about, man? Anyway, man, you can just douche that in there a lot, man. We're going to wipe this off, put a piece of wax paper on there, get a little piece of board, you know what I mean? We're just going to clamp it to the table, man. Try to get it flat, man. But we're going to a lot of glue into this crack, man. Just let it set, man. Just let it seether, man. Let it seether like the beaver, bro. I'll see you in a couple minutes, man. So we just can't clamp it no more, people. You know what I'm saying? We got down on it. Before we put the clamp on this one right here, this big crack, I showed you that first loose, sloppy stool we did on there with the tight bond and a lot of water. Then I did one with a little bit less water. Then I did one with practically no water. All doucheballing out like 3 different times, wiping off between the times, you know what I mean? Final wipe, put a piece of wax paper down, this big strong He-Man clamp on it, we're good to go, man. Likewise, there was a crack going through the spruce right here too. And it kind of like, you know what I mean, like cracked, and there was like a deficit, and it was like sort of, the top's all bent, man. It's all fucked up, it's all cracked. This piece of spruce was not very well cared for. Anyway, man, we're going to start pumping glue into these other deficits here. See, there's a deficit here. There's a little nasty one over here by the, you know what I mean? Look at that one. Ugh, terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. We're just going to put some type bond on there, you know what I mean? Just pump it in there. We're not even going to dilute it. We're just going to use that douche ball. You know what I mean? Do this a couple times, man. So I'm just going to glue it till I just can't glue it no more, man. I'll see you then, man. In a peaceful manner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? I'm saying it. Put a piece of paper on top of that sticker. I don't think I'm going to replace it. I might, you know what I mean, try to glue down the parts that I can that are sticking up. You know what I mean? I could easily replace that sticker, people. I have it in my power. I just want to leave the original one, man. I'll see you in a little bit. All right. So it's the next day. Took all the clamps off. Looks pretty good, man. Looks okay. So now what we're going to want to do is just keep pumping glue into all these little cracks. Especially the ones that were under the clamps, you know what I mean? So all these little deficits are gone. So everything's totally sealed, man. Sealed and spilled, man. So I'll see you at that point. Or as we say, burnt. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. What? So we're at the point where we're not really getting any more sort of peek throughs. You know what I'm saying? This seems to be, we can focus in real good, man. All filled up with glue, man. You know, there's no little holes in the tributaries, man. Lots of glue in it, though, man. Lots of glue. But it's still like in like real deep places. You can see that, you know what I mean. It's still slightly wet. You know what I'm saying? So let's go bring this guy outside and let it sit out in the sun, man. Out in the glorious sun the whole afternoon. Soak up. You know what I'm saying? What it deserves to have. I'll see you out there, people, in a couple hours. Got this girl in the sun all day. A nice glorious sun. Beautiful day. I always say that wood sort of reacts differently outside than it does inside when you're drying something or curing something. This is definitely one of those cases, man. Well, the areas of heavy glue, you know what I mean? Translucence has occurred. It's dry. It's nice and dry. Let's let this sit out here another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Bring it down to cellar. You know what I mean? Let it cool off for about a half hour. I'll see you then. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Oh, rigid. So we're down here. We're cooled down a little bit, man. Cool down. Let's give it like a nice little soft sponge bath. Get all the scuzz off here. All this scumbag stuff off, man. When that's gone, we'll give it a little bit of old furniture polish. Just get it all moist again all over the place. I don't think you're feeling that moist. I don't want to be with no gal that's not moist no more. I'll see you after we're all moisty out. You moisty motherfucker. We got her all greased up again. She's feeling all moist. What do you mean? M-O-I-S-T, moist. You idiot. That's for the dumb kid in the back. Now listen. See this, man? See this label in here? It's got these little flaps of skin hanging up that have more data on it, man. See that? There's found data, man. See that? And there's this thing here, but it's all flipped up. So I'm going to try to glue that down, man, so we can preserve as much of the label as we can, man. You know what I'm saying, man? We don't want to get the label mossed, though. So we got to do this in a dry manner. See you in a moment. So there it goes, man. A little bit of rubber cement, man. A little bit of rubber cement. Re-extending and hyperextending it all those times to try to find out what it was. Kind of knock some of that gold flake off. A little bit of rubber cement, man. Needle brush. Now what we want to do a fret job on it. Nice fret job. Take a look at the neck. It's got a truss rod, right? Try to get it straight. Correct? You know what I'm saying? Correct corabble, man. See when we're all fretted up, man. Don't fret, man. Don't fret. And that's how we got the fret job done, man. In a beautiful fashion, man. In a beautiful fashion, man. Now, truss rod work, man. We got the neck straight as an arrow, man. We like with these kind of truss rods, the Gibson style truss rods. Want to use like one of these kind of wrenches. This is a 932. You slide it on there like this, man. Just like so. You know what I'm saying? Fits on like a, you know what I'm saying? But we got it perfect, man. Perfect like a gherkin, man. So look, what we're gonna do right now, man, we're gonna wipe all this little dust off, man. Let's the dust down, man. Just wipe it all off, man. And we're gonna take some mineral oil, and just like, you know what I mean, get some very, very fine grade steel wool and just, you know what I mean, and we can get rid of all these little, you know what I'm saying, little scratches and stuff, minor little scuffs on the fretboard while we do that. You know what I mean? Micro polish those frets, my fretting friends. See when that's all greased up, you greasy soldier. Pill burn. See you in a minute. It's been about 4 to 5 minutes, 1 hour. Well, that grease has seeped in as much as it's going to seep in, people. Seeping grease like a pizza on the nose, man. We also put a little bit of mineral oil on the bridge. We just use basically, you know, cloth t-shirt to put that on there, man. You know what I'm saying? We're okay on that end. So it's all sepped in, as much as it's going to sep. Let's wipe off the rest of this residue, man. So let's hit up the body, you know what I mean, in all parts not rosewood, with some mom's cleaner wax, man. Especially up here, we're going to want to clean around. See how that, just like finished rosewood, you know what I mean? That finished rosewood is like sort of faded over the past 60, 70 years, you know what I'm saying, man. We're going to put a little bit on top of this also, so we're going to clean this up, put that back on there, man. And then put a little bit of wax on top of it. Then all the rosewood, of course, we're going to hit up with a little bit of butcher's wax, man. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of butcher's, man. Going to handle the meats. Like Sam the Butcher. Giving Alice the meat. I got it all sheen, shine, buffed up with the rag, man. It's all buffed out, man. Nice and sheeny, shiny. Protected. Lots of wax on there, man. All different kinds of wax, man. Buffed up to a luster. Lusterful, man. Lusterful. So what's left, man? Not much, man. Not too much. Not too much. First of all and foremostly, missing the old strap button there. And I got a whole drawer full of these old stock strap buttons, man. Off-white and white. Probably work this guy right here. Cream-colored, man. Equally cream-colored. I got a set of these old bridge pins. 6, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? As far as strings, man, I'm going to put a set of these on there, man. These old rainbows, man. I put that on that Israeli Commando guitar we did. That Long Island, the Atlas guitar, man. This sounds gorgeous, man. This is kind of the same kind of deal, man. Little fella. Little feller. Put these on here, man. I'll see you at the glamour shots. Peace be with you. Peace willing. Peace willing. Peace out. Hey, man. I got bad news, I got good news. Bad news is there's no good news, man. You know, man, this whole time I had it in my heart, man, that I was going to put strings on this bad boy at the end of this little project, man. And this is going to be the best sounding little tiny guitar I had. This with all the nice appointments. The 60-year-old wood, you know what I'm saying? The Brazilian rosewood, man. You know, I'm saying? All the turtles that died for this tortoiseshell binding, man. Fine Brazilian trees, rainforest died for this fucking thing. $300 Grover tuners like John Lennon got rid of. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm just saying. It's a beautiful instrument. I was like, this thing's gonna be gorgeous, man. It's gonna sound gorgeous. It's got a truss rod in it, you know what I mean? The neck's straightened out like a fucking ironing board, man. Can't be anything wrong with it, you know what I mean? A smooth sailing. I put the strings on there, man. Brought up the tuner, and it's like, set it off, you know? It's like, out of tune, man. So, you know what? Maybe these rainbow head strings, man, maybe they need to stretch a little while. You know what I mean? So I stretched the strings, you know what I mean? Gave it an hour, tuned it up, kept tuning it up. Just didn't sound right, man. I was strumming on it, and I was hitting on the tuner. It was still in tune. I was like, this is out, man. And the only way for that to be out is for the intonation to be off. And the only way for the intonation to be off at this point, after we've done all this checklist shit, is that somebody had glued this bridge down in the wrong place, man. So I got my tailor's ruler out, man. You know, the cloth ruler, and I started off here, man. I brought it all the way up to the 12th fret. 12 and a half inches. I was like, that's cool, man. So went from the 12 and, you know, the 12th fret out to the saddle here on the bridge. It was 12.75 was out, man. Somebody glued this down in the wrong fucking place, man. Out, man. You're out. But the perplexing thing, man, you know what I'm saying, is there was a lot of play wear, man. This thing's been played for 60 years. Fucking out of tune. What kind of idiot would do that, man? He's got a new guitar. I started to understand maybe why this label's ripped out. It's probably sold as a second or a prototype or something like that. Or somebody got out of a fucking dumpster, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Would explain all these like weird scratches on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a wear scratch. It's like a dumpster diving scratch, man. So you fucking guys, you don't know what you're doing. I hired you to make guitars and now things are out of tune. Anyway, man, if you tune it by harmonic, the 5th fret, you kind of get away with the cowboy chords. You know what I'm saying? Disappointing. Anyway, man, I always burn it out back, yeah, you know what I mean, in the campfire grill. And we can sell them tuners on reverb, man. You know what I'm saying? All's not lost. Anyway, you know, let's take a sad song and make it sadder. You know what I mean? We've already talked about it, man, so let's listen to it, man. Before we listen to it, I'm going to talk about things and make you even sadder, man. Peace be with you. Peacefully. I respect. So there it is, folks. Elger. Play student guitar prototype. Girl's guitar prototype. I really don't know what their modus operandi is with this little guy is, man. It's not that bad, man. I know I like to carry on. It's not really too noticeable, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. I kind of start tuning guitars like my boy Ricky does, you know what I'm saying? It's like for each song I tune it, you know what I mean? Which, you know what I mean? He always takes the guitar, has the intonation slightly out, my boy Ricky, and he'll like tune it up for each song to like almost perfect. That's this thing, man. He's got a gift, man. So let me give you a little history, man, the way I see it. When I first started playing guitar, what was popular, you know what I mean, was the grunge movement, man. I'm going to give you this history, then I'm going to tie the whole room together. And you'll see, oh, I see where he's going, man. Now, the first kind of grunge stuff I heard was Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? It was just hugely popular everywhere, man. You know, and I was just learning how to play guitar, so it was like, you know, it's just like everybody could do it, you know what I mean? So it was like cool, you know what I mean? It's intro to the power chords with Nirvana, you know what I mean? I heard Soundgarden, and this one dude I knew liked Alice in Chains, man. So I kind of like, you know what I mean? I was never really into it. You know, I was learning how to play guitar. It was easy to play, you know what I mean? I faked my way through it, you know what I'm saying? Right around 93 sometime, early, mid-93, I heard that song on the radio. I am smelling like a rose. And I was like, oh, what's this? You know, another grunge band? You know what I mean? But it was called STP, Stone Temple Pilots, I found out, man. I was like, and a lot of my grunge fans, like Pearl Jam fans, you know, all of my friends, you know what I mean, I knew who were in that sector. Like, oh, man, they're all rip-offs, man. They're not real, you know what I'm saying, grunge. They're not even from Seattle. You know, there's one dude I knew, he's like, yeah, that's a band that was made by a record company. He's like, I know the person who works in a record company. And they took a band from New Jersey, from Point Pleasant. They took a band from California. It was like the Monkees, man. They're phonies, man. This dude was like serious, but I found out later he was actually kind of right. But that's beside the point, man. I was like, you know what, man? I'll give it. For some reason, I like these songs I kept hearing from them, man. Stone Temple Pilots. And then my senior year in high school, first day on the bus, you know what I mean, of the year, this beautiful girl walks in, brand new to school. Seat next to me, and she sat right down next to me, and she looked, turned to me, she says, I am smelling like a rose. And I was like, oh my God. A couple days later, she had her own apartment, and I was like, cool, you know, this chick was just beautiful too. And I go over to her apartment, we drank a bottle of wine, and we listened to she had Core, and it was just on repeat, and over and over, and I was like, that's a great album, man. I drink a bottle of wine, man, make all kinds of jokes, man. You know, the next day I went home, I learned every one of them songs best I could, man. And you know what I mean? You wouldn't find, you know what I mean, a girl that beautiful sitting at home listening to Alice in Chains. Like fucking Soundgarden, bro. You know, Black Hole Sun. It just wouldn't happen, man. But you know, STP, you could be like, driving faster in my car. You can sing Interstate Love Song, all that kind of stuff, man. So you know what I mean? I got to college, man. I learned every STP song. I found out girls liked STP, all that grunge stuff, man. Now, the grunge movement lasted until the day Kurt Cobain died in 1994, and it died out, man. Died out totally, man. And I think the 2 years after Kurt's death, all them former, you know what I mean, grunge bands, for the most part, you know, went and produced like their masterpieces, man, like their great masterpieces, man. And I think that's why STP sort of qualifies as like one of the great grunge bands in my mind. Because they, I think, excelled out all the rest of them. But you realize like 2 or 3 years after Cobain's death, every one of them bands I mentioned just like became culturally irrelevant. But STP, man, you know, all them songs were fucking cool, man. My man Scott Weiland was smooth as hell, you know what I'm saying? Early you know what I mean? 96 stuff. They did a great Unplugged show, might even better than Nirvana's Unplugged, man. STP, remember he's in a rocking chair? I haven't seen that in a while, though I did, you know what I mean? You know, watching this, you know what I mean? Some stuff on, YouTube recently to regain my mind of it. But anyway, let me tie the whole room together now, because I talk about, you know, pop culture all day long, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I was this weekend in a hotel room in Pennsylvania, laying in my bed, man, and a song that said popped in my mind. I swear to God, I hadn't, you know what I mean? I hadn't thought of this song. I haven't been thinking about this grunge stuff either, man. I saw this song in at least 25 years, man, since I first heard it on the radio. Probably, you know, that period, man, I never heard it again. I didn't see it on TV. I don't think it's been on the radio or TV since it came out, man. But I heard it in my head, man. I said to myself, Stone Temple Pilots were a great group, man. A great group. When I found out the Stone Temple Pilots, you know what I mean? They're probably the ones who killed that dude, man. They put Linkin Park singer in there when Scott Weiland was still alive, man. They treated him real badly. He ended up like playing like Holiday Inn lounges, man. And the STP was playing with some other phony motherfucker like arenas. If I was an artist who really, you know what I mean, was the man, all them groups, man, all them great grunge groups, you could take the bands and fucking put them in a meat grinder, man. Put other people behind them. And the front man was always a person who fucking lit up everyone in them fucking grunge band I was talking about. Alice in Chains, man. Nirvana. Talking about Soundgarden. We're talking about, you know what I mean, my man, Stone Temple Pilots. Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder's the only one still alive, man. Eddie Vedder, man. Wash your hands, man. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands. Anyway, here we go, man. This is STP, man. one of the great unknown songs, man. Why they're geniuses, man.
Lay the picture show she hides behind her bedroom door. Lay the picture show she hides behind her bedroom wall. She hides because she don't know nothing anymore. She keeps a funny face all locked up in her bag beside the door. She doesn't know her name. 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 Hey man, rest in peace, all you, especially you, Scott Weiland. Eddie Vedder, man, wash those hands, man. And thank God all them people that, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Peace be with you, man. Elger, man. That's the story of why my man Gerson Rosenbloom works with Sweetwater and not running Empire guitars, man. They're just no good, man. This is garbage, man. Peace be